Hey guys, my name is Mary and welcome to today's video where by the title you probably already know that we are going to be doing the viral Shelby Ann drugstore makeup routine on 43-year-old with hyperpigmentation. And full disclosure, I did do this routine yesterday. I filmed a short and I went into it with a really playful attitude, thinking that I was going to come out looking a cakey mess, and the makeup actually came out really good. And you guys were so kind to me in the comments saying how good it came out and that I didn't even look my age, which even shocked me even further because I was terrified to put that much product on my face. But it came out really good, so I wanted to go at it again today with a more serious attitude. And I also did learn a couple tips and tricks testing this out yesterday that I will share with you. So if you want to see how this routine works on, you know, mature skin with hyperpigmentation, please just keep on watching. Okay, so we've got Shelby right here.
Have seen my drugstore makeup routine.
She's gonna go right along with us. We're gonna follow her step by step. I did yesterday have a bit of creasing, which is always a problem with me. I do have fine lines under my eyes. I do have pretty deep set laugh lines. So today I did my cheat code and I did plop on my Snail Mucin laugh line and eye patches about half an hour or so ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull those off. So I thought that might help. So if you've watched this routine at all, you know this is one of the ones that she says is a non-negotiable. As you can tell, I truly love this product. It's down to the bottom. I'm going to be using the last of this to do this routine. I love this. I would purchase this again if I did not discover the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Probiotic Barrier Essence, which I know has a name the length of my arm, but it's a milky toner that has stolen my heart, or I would repurchase this. This is awesome. It's a really good product. I enjoyed it thoroughly the whole time I was using it. So we're gonna slap that on our face. And just like Shelby, we're not gonna be shy with anything. But I will say that I'm not shy with my prep products anyway. I might be shy with concealer, but I am 100% on board with Shelby that prep is the most important step of your makeup, especially if you're wanting it to last. Humidity, rain, children, then I say do not shy on your prep. And that does really quench your skin. It leaves you with a really plump, juicy base. It's a really good toner. Okay, so next up, this was a first for me to try the e.l.f. Thirst Burst drops. It's very hydrating and it's a really nice consistency, and it worked well under the makeup, so she wasn't shy with this either. I did about 3 pumps. I like to do my prep before my brows just so I can really get in there. It's really nice. Reveal a juicy, radiant complexion both instantly and over time with these gel serum drops infused with 1% hydrating hibiscus complex, hyaluronic acid, and brightening 5% niacinamide. So all good things that are good for our skin too. Next up, so we've got the e.l.f. Whoa Glow, which is something that I did have. I will say that I wasn't reaching for this sunscreen all the time on my shelf. I'm gonna go ahead and messily do my 2 fingers. Not that I hate it, but it just wasn't one of my favorites. Maybe I'll start reaching for it more often now. I'm again on board with Shelby that the sunscreen is a non-negotiable. We should all be wearing our sunscreen every day. I wish I started wearing sunscreen back in at least in my 30s. But we live and we learn, right? 40s is better than never. Now this is gonna make you look like a disco ball. Like she said, if you can't go ice skating on it, your skin is not ready for makeup yet. So we're definitely ice skating ready. I went ahead and cleaned off my brows so that we can go in with our brow gel, and we are using the L'Oreal 24-hour brow lamination gel. We're just gonna do our brows. That's it for the brows for now, and we'll let that dry down while we're doing everything else. Next up, we're going to go in with our foundation, which is the L'Oreal True Match, and I have mine in the shade W6. So she has a couple versions of her video. She uses a sponge in one, she uses a brush in one. I like to go in with a brush and then smooth it out with a sponge, so that's what I'm going to do, since she did use both technically. Wow. Putting that foundation on your faces. That's crazy. Okay. Usually I do everything for my brows at the end. I'm not used to gelling them first because I don't usually have luck with that. So I'm not used to having to be real careful around my brows. So I'm gonna be really careful. And she tells us to put that shit on. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit more foundation, which I would usually never do. But we're following it directions because it works. So I think as we get older, we just naturally gear towards less makeup, less product. We don't want to look over made up, and sometimes it's okay. Would I wear this full beat every single day? No. And that's coming from somebody that will slap on glitter to walk to the dumpster for me. But when I want to look really nice and put together and it lasts all day, this routine is really solid. And I'm just going to go over with my Paw Paw sponge. Doing this step is going to pick up any of the excess foundation and smooth it out. So even if we went overboard with how much foundation we used, this is going to help a little bit. And that is a really, really, really nice foundation. This is where I was most scared. When I filmed this the first time doing the short, I was scared to put the concealer on because she puts that shit on. And I am so sparing. What's the right word? I'm so light with my concealer. We're using the L'Oreal Infallible concealer, and I have mine in the shade Cashew. This is a ton of concealer for me. A ton. Like even now, even though I did this yesterday, I'm still like trying to make myself breathe. But we already trust you, Shelby, so we aren't going to be scared because you did your thing, girl. Okay. And to be honest with you, after I blend it out, it doesn't feel as cakey as I would think that it would feel. Next up, we're going to go in with our cream bronzer, which today we're using the Milani Cheek Kiss bronzer, and I fudged this one up. I got mine in the shade 130 Spicy Season, thinking I needed the darker shade, and I was wrong. When I put this on, I literally almost fell over. Time for shape shifting. It wasn't an act. I almost fell over. So I'm gonna need to switch this for a different color, but I do really like it. It's a nice formula. So we're just gonna very lightly, you see how like I'm gonna use that little bit that I had on my hand, like, or a little bit that I had on my brush. I'm gonna go very slowly with this bronzer. Okay, so I feel like we're blended pretty well. We're bronzed, we're contoured up a bit. Let's see what Miss Shelby does next.
So, we're using this one from L'Oreal today. This is the shade Dewy Bright Pink, and I love a pink cheek, so I pack it.
Okay, so we're using the L'Oreal Lumi Le Liquid Blush. She had Dewy Pink. I did go with Dewy Coral, I believe, because I thought it would flatter my skin tone more and I would get more use out of this shade. But it's the same product, same formula. And I did like 3 dots yesterday and that worked pretty well. So we're just gonna do like 3 dots. And I really, really like this blush. I really, really like this blush. It blends out really quickly. It's very pigmented. It lasted all day yesterday, and it did rain. But there's our blush. She said this was a non-negotiable. I agree with her. This powder, it's very blurring. Very blurring. Now, she went in with the lighter pink shades, and mine it was the darker pink shade because she's more fair-skinned than I am. I'm just gonna take some of this and put it into. And I love, one of my favorite parts when I put on powder is when I do my forehead. I don't know why. Just taking that shine off is so satisfying to me. Are we seeing the blur from this powder? Okay, Shelby. I honestly think doing this entire routine was worth it just to discover this powder because this powder is good. Okay, and it is Florida approved. To me, if you are Florida approved, if you are Florida summer approved, you will become a keeper in my collection. Shelby, what are we doing next, Shelby?
I'm in a different powder right now.
I am cheating a little bit on the brows because I didn't realize that my NYX Lift and Snatch was drying out. Like, she's just done for, so she's not going to do us much good. But I do have the L'Oreal Faux Brow, so it is drugstore, and I'm going to do my brows with this. I just realized that she kind of does bake her under eye a little bit. I don't think that was in the first version I saw. Oh, my eye is watering. Curious to see, does baking, because like I avoid it like the plague. I would never do that. Does baking, of course my eye is watering when I'm trying to do this. Does baking help your creasing or hurt your creasing? Are we gonna find out today? Next, we're gonna go in with our L'Oreal Infallible Bronzer, and she puts a little bit of that as her eyeshadow in her eyes. I'm blowing that out quite a bit because I do have hooded eyes. What else does she do for her eyes?
And my favorite brown eyeliner is also from L'Oreal in the shade Brown.
So we're gonna do brown eyeliner. Ooh, that's leaking. I can't find my brown eyeliner, and that one, the liquid one, is leaking. So I'm just taking bronzer and using bronzer to line my eye a little bit. Okay, so I've lined up my eyes. I do have this brown eyeliner, which I should have used because it's drugstore prices. I recently did my first Yes Style haul, which I was over the moon excited for. I'll link it right here. And in that order, I did get this really amazing waterproof eyeliner, but that doesn't go with this, so we're not going to use it today, but that would have been perfect for this. Okay, so next up, she is going to go in with mascara, and she uses the Maybelline Lash Lift Falsies mascara. And when I was filming the short, I was joking and I said, "Shelby, take the wheel," and I meant it because I don't do waterproof. But yeah, I'm not a fan, and I'm not gonna say I really liked this mascara yesterday either, but we will use it, and it didn't flake or anything. I love the original falsies. That used to be a favorite of mine before I geared off into using other things, but Maybelline does kind of knock it out of the park with a lot of their mascaras. So does L'Oreal. Okay, I will say I'm still not the biggest fan of that mascara, even after using it again today. My eye is still watering. I just think it starts to get clumpy. I'm not a huge fan of waterproof formulas. They just really don't work out well for me. But they can't all be winners. I don't like that mascara. I do like the non-waterproof falsies. Next, she went ahead and wiped away all the extra powder. So that's what we will do. I'm trying to avoid getting it wet because my eye's watering. but I think that's a first for me, baking. Would I do it every day? No, but it doesn't look terrible. This eye is watering really bad, but this eye is a good example. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look as cakey as I would expect it to look. This is something I like to do anyway. I like to set all of my cream products with their powder counterparts to make things last all day. So we are on board with that one, Shelby. And I wore a white shirt because I'm an idiot. Okay. I do like this bronzer. I like a lot of the Infallible products. I have been a diehard Fenty Sun stalker for a long time. But this is nice. And it's a little bit lighter than my Caramel Cutie, so I do like this bronzer. It's really nice, and it does last all day. Next, we're gonna go in with our L'Oreal Infallible blush, and I got mine in the shade Fearless Coral to complement the Dewy Coral liquid blush. And yesterday, she wasn't kidding when she said these are pigmented. These are pigmented. Like, dude, that's it. Tap it off. You see? Do you see? Yesterday, I wasn't prepared, okay? Even though she tried to prepare me. Shelby tried to warn me, but listen, Shelby. Now I know to listen to you, girl. I could probably do the other cheek without even tapping, but we're gonna do it. Okay. We're gonna put it on. We're gonna put it on, Shelby. Okay. I love her accent too. Like, oh man, I wish I had an accent. I don't even care which accent, really. I just want an accent. I guess maybe to people in some other parts of the world I do have an accent, but I don't. To me, now I want one. There is the culprit that's making my eye water. It's a piece of glitter. To get the little sucker. What do we think of that blush shade? I feel like it looks pink. Like it's called coral, but I don't know. Maybe it's coral. Maybe it's coral. Okay, L'Oreal, maybe. Maybe. Pinkish coral. Okay, what are we doing next? Shells. Shells. We're on nicknames now. Next up is our L'Oreal Infallible 3-Second Mist. I have seen a lot of videos where girls have been showing that their makeup is flaking a lot, and I think that's for a reason. I could be wrong, but here's my theory. This is called the 3-Second Mist for a reason. Now I know we're all used to going in and dousing ourselves in our setting spray, but with this setting spray you cannot do that. You can do that with the one size, even though it's an aerosol. You can get away with that, but with this one you need to do 3 seconds and spread that 3 seconds out across your whole face, and it will be enough spray and it will hold your makeup and it won't flake. If it does, you can blame me, but try it. Okay, so I'm gonna shake her up real good. And I'm gonna count to 3. I can't do it with my mouth open because this stuff is lethal. Well, not lethal, but this stuff is serious. So I will count to 3 in my head, okay? 3 seconds. Done. No more. Maybe that's why it comes in such a small bottle, because you don't need a lot. Oh, here I am cheating a little bit. I could not find the Revlon Skin Lights highlighter. Nobody had that in the Revlon section for me, and I tried. I couldn't find it, but I do have this Wet n Wild Mega Glow, which is from the drugstore. It is very affordable. I love this highlighter, and this is in the shade Blossom Glow, and it's a really pretty, just Wet n Wild does some really good drugstore highlighters. And I'm gonna put that shit on too, Shelby, because I like highlighter. Even with my texture, I don't care. I don't care. I like highlighter. It brings me joy. No, this side of my face is a lot smoother than this side. This side is much more textured and has chicken pox scars and stuff, but I still put it on. I like my highlighter. Okay, next up we're gonna do lips, and I'm using the Maybelline Lifter Liner in the shade On It. I wanted to go with something really subtle and everyday. I don't want to do a bold lip. I had been wanting to test these eyeliners, these lip liners anyway. I was kind of waiting for my Fenty Traced Out to run out. And then Shelby lit a fire under my butt. This color is very close to my natural lip color, and that's what I wanted. Let's do this one for a little bit more color, since we're using the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Bubblegum. Hopefully this one is a little bit deeper. Because we went so light with the lip liner. Maybe we'll mix it too, because that is a bit pink. So I'm going to go in also with a little bit of the shade Gummy Bear. My favorite shade of these lifter glosses is the shade Moon, which is like kind of a dupe for Fussy from Fenty. But Costco had this 3-pack. Oh, that's better. Okay. I'm over here looking in the viewfinder like it looks blurry. Like, do I look filtered? I don't know. Maybe a little bit. I don't have hat head, but I do have headband head. But I wanted to take the headband out and just kind of show the makeup a little bit. What do we think? Would I have ever just voluntarily slapped all of this on my face? I don't think so. But if I want to go full on, I would do this routine and reuse this routine. This isn't just, you know, something that went viral for no reason. It's a good routine. It's solid. The products are easily accessible. Well, maybe when this dies down, they'll be easily accessible again. And I truly enjoyed. I found a lot of goodies in here that I like. I always did love this Thayer's Milky highlighter. This Thayer's Milky toner. And I will probably repurchase this in a lighter shade. And this powder is phenomenal. So also too, I discovered some goodies in here. I'm not so sure on the concealer, the mascara, a couple of the ones that I was like, but the brow, this might be a dupe for the Rare Beauty. This is a pretty intense brow gel. I would like to put this one up against my Rare Beauty to see if I can maybe replace her. And the e.l.f. Thirst Burst drops were also another winner. So overall, I'm kind of excited because it was nice to discover a bunch of drugstore goodies that I can enjoy and add into, especially my summer routine. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video at all, I would truly appreciate if you would take just a second of your day to like, comment, or subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.